the Scottish capital tonight. And look what it means to them. A stunning victory. And it was so well earned for Massimo Brunello and his coaching team. That squad of players without their Italian internationals, but they've come to the Scottish capital and recorded a famous victory over Sean Everitt's Edinburgh. Well, gentlemen, amongst all that, what an incredible result. Pick out your player of the match, please.
It was difficult. We were going up and down that list of Zebre Parma players. Gonzalo Garcia was fantastic. DeRay just pulled the strings on everything. Jacopo Petrullo, when he was on the field, was unbelievable, but that man there, Geronimo Prisciantelli, is your player of the match. He has been fantastic. They have fully deserved this win, Zebre Parma. I know I'm meant to be impartial, but I wanted to join in with the celebrations of the coaches there, just in front of us. What a fantastic display by them, the way they did it.
You can see what it means to them, the effort, but this was built on quality defence, it was built on clinical execution, it was built on delivering under pressure. Prisciantelli was excellent. I think Stabile Navarro, Licata as well. Wes Houston for Edinburgh obviously performed as well, but 2 wins in a row on the road. It's the 4th win of the season. It's a big turnaround. Massimo Brunello's first season in charge of Zebre Parma, and he's had a big impact.
Since how long, Rory? Sorry? Since 2019.
Well, an incredible final score. Edinburgh 17, Zebre Parma 22. Yeah, well, I mean, I said that to Dave Sisi before the game, and it almost didn't sound convincing that had built a belief, but obviously they've just kept that under wraps. He said, when I asked him about that, they put that game to bed. It was all about then building for this one. They've done exactly that. They've kept their feet on the ground. That was an outstanding performance from start to finish. The defensive attitude was incredible.
It had everything, didn't it? Defence, the way they mauled, the way they attacked. Like, there was one moment where they just went into their shells a little bit, tried to kick a bit more, and then we were saying, no, don't try and play. You've been cutting them open every time you've gone wide, and they've just been fantastic all evening.
There was also, if you look back to that first try that Trullo scored, that was brilliant. 3 offloads, Licata, I think Matza was involved. It was clinical. Prisciantelli with the final pass, Trullo finishing off, so there was real quality in attack, but the story, you're right, Ryan, Rory, was their defence. Come away from home to just get organised, to frustrate Edinburgh, to force Edinburgh to kick when they didn't want to kick, and then just be physically brave and physically dominant so many times. It's a brilliant win for Zebre. It's a disappointing evening for Edinburgh.
Well, that's an understatement. That's a huge blow for Edinburgh as they traipse off before they head to Munster in round 12. Then they're away to Italy for round 13 for trip to Treviso to face Benetton, and massive games to come for Edinburgh. But this tonight is all about Zebre Parma. That is really one of the greatest results in their history. They now actually have the same record as Edinburgh in the URC. Played 11, won 4 and lost 7. The bonus points will separate them, but that actually gets Zebre right back into the mix for possibly even challenging for playoff spots. And what Massimo Brunello has done with this team to turn them from the side perennial bottom of the table to 4 victories after 11 games, it's absolutely outstanding. They built a squad as well, haven't they? They're missing Simone Gessi, Lorenzo Pani, Pier Bruno, Luca Rizzoli, Matteo Nocera, Danilo Frischetti, but they've still managed. There's a squad there of players, the men that came off the bench for them. They all put in a huge effort.
Yeah, and there's a huge amount of cohesion within them. You look at the celebrations as well, and they can take that and drive forward through the season. I see Brunello had a lot of success with the Italian under-20s. He's obviously a galvanising coach, but built on physicality, built on their defence, some quality moments as well. Prisciantelli was player of the match. We're trying to get an interview with him. I think Luca Bigi is with him as well. Maybe as an interpreter, maybe it's Luca Bigi, but we'll hear from them in a minute.
Well, let's head down for some reaction from the men who were out there and did the business for Zebre Parma. Captain Luca Bigi and the player of the match, Geronimo Prisciantelli, are with Connie.
Thank you very much for that, Rory. Look, I'm going to get you, first of all, to do the honours, please, with the medal, if you wouldn't mind. There we are. Congratulations. Well done. Looking fantastic. Appreciate your time, Luca. Cheers for that. Geronimo, let me come to you. First of all, talk me through this injury, your eye. What happened?
Yeah, it's another one. I usually get it, I don't know why, but it wasn't in the first half on a tackle, so there are things of the game.
I guess it tells us a story about the physicality of this match. Was that something that you were really keen to try and take advantage of tonight?
Sure, we know that is the key for us. Maybe we are not the stronger one, the better one, but we know that as a group and playing for each other and being really physically, we can get this kind of wins, so we are really happy for that.
Luca, talk me through this man's performance and just how important that was tonight.
I think he's one of the best fullback in our competition. He's been out for his elbow for a few weeks. I think first game back in with the boys and player of the match doesn't mean what it is for us. So congratulations to him. Really proud of the boy. We enjoyed the kind of games. Twice in a week away against Paterson and Edinburgh, so now we go again.
Yeah, I can see just with the celebrations that we've just witnessed here, just exactly what it means to you and to this team. But explain to us a little bit, Geronimo, and explain to the people who are watching at home just what a result like this can do in terms of momentum for Zebre Parma.
We think these kind of wins are the key for us. We are usually arrive on Monday with a losing weekend. I have been here for 3 years, and maybe this is what we keep fighting the last part of the years. And every week we fight for arrive on Monday with a smile on the face, and with this kind of wins that push us to keep growing and keep getting better. So I think they are really, really important for us.
Just a final question for you, Luca, about what seems to have changed. The momentum seems to have shifted a little bit since that Ulster match. You had a few weeks off, obviously, and then for this tonight. What seems to be the difference?
I think we always been focused on our performance. Our coaching staff has really challenged us about performing well, about putting the body on the line, and then as soon as we build the week from organization point of view, from technical point of view, that's we put on the pitch. So it's like a responsibility. So the team is growing. We are doing well. We are in tough situation because it's clear that we are in a tough situation in Italy as well. So, but this kind of win means a lot for us, and we embrace that.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Embrace it together tonight. I'll let you go and celebrate. I appreciate your time, Luca. Geronimo, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, our very own Ryan Wilson has been out and about as per usual, and I think he's been catching up with a few more Zebre players who are pretty happy.
Yeah, well, we don't want to lose the group too much. We'll walk, but 2019, you had to wait a long time for that first away win in Ulster, and now you've got two.
Unbelievable feelings. It's unbelievable. It's a good effort from the boys. We keep working week by week. So this is the effort, this is the result. We are so happy, we are so happy.
I feel sorry for the coaches because you made it difficult towards the end. A yellow card, a red card, it started to get away, but you had the fight.
We always try to make hard finish, but that's us. That's how we work. That's the result. We are so happy about it.
Well, it's well deserved. Now all I want to know is, I'm sure there's going to be a good night out tonight in Edinburgh.
100%. Maybe we will drink few beers outside. We don't know. Maybe Three Sisters is the good option tonight. We will see.
Well, they've heard it. Three Sisters. We'll go find a couple more. Congratulations. You go and enjoy those well-earned beers. We'll see if we can find a couple more. Here, pull in there. Is this the man? Is this the man to grab? How excited are you for the celebrations tonight?
How do you think?
Can I come? Can I come? Yeah, we're getting in there. Right, we're getting in there. We're sending it back to the studio.
Ah, goodness me. It's not like Ryan Wilson to get himself involved, is it? Let's be honest. Right, okay, if you are just joining us, we've had such an entertaining 80 minutes here at the Hive. It finished Edinburgh 17, Zebre 22. All the analysis on the way from this thriller after this short break. Stay exactly where you are. And I'm pleased to say the Zebre coach, Dave Sisi, joins me as well as Ryan's back and Chris Paterson
I made it out
as well.
alive.
You did. Just to know more. Did you have something to do with that, Dave? Getting him in the middle of that?
I wish you did. I wish I did. I was up here waiting for him.
I wasn't celebrating. I was pulled into it, just to be clear.
Have you had some texts already?
Yeah, the phone's been going off.
You must have chased him off the park a few times, Dave, in the years gone by, have you?
I can't imagine that I'd have caught him, to be honest. That's not a compliment to me. No, I was just slow.
Yeah.
I tell you what, tonight we could see, I was just saying that to Geronimo and to your captain, about the importance of, I guess, just what this says to the rest of the URC about, you know, a change in fortune for Zebre Parma. What does it feel like tonight to get that result? And I guess the manner of it as well.
It's really not fortune. That word fortune implies it's come, you know, in a way, sort of in a lucky way. The amount of effort that these guys put in under the conditions that we have, you know, we're not the biggest club in the URC. Lots of things are stacked up against us from the start. This season's special because the guys have made a decision to work much harder than they've ever have before. We're a small group again. We haven't got bodies and bodies. You know, a training session looks like sometimes we've got 15 guys out in the field. We've got 20 guys out in the field. We can't train even the way we want to train. But the way the guys put their bodies and they sacrifice themselves for each other, it just speaks volumes to this group. And I can say that as someone who was in the group last year and obviously entered now into the coaching staff, and now watching these guys put the performances that they do onto the pitch, it's really special for me, to be honest.
But what I think's really interesting is you had that earlier in the season, all the challenges that you just mentioned there, and but there's something that seems to have shifted and changed. It seems like, you know, from an onward looking in, from that Ulster match to now, can you put your finger on what that was?
No, not really. I mean, that's probably a question for the boss, and I should say that you know, Massimo Brunello, since he's come in, has just done a fantastic job. Obviously, I'm here representing all the staff. I'm the English speaker in the group. Look, Massimo's galvanised this group from the start of the season, to be honest with you, because, you know, I could have been sat here with wins over Lions and Benetton as well. Those are games that we lost by a point. You know, you stack those on top of the wins that we've managed to achieve this season. It's turning into a special season, but we've got to keep our feet on the ground. This is a group that just works hard. We understand who we are. We understand what our identity is. You know, I'm just really, really, really proud of the boys and that effort. You know, 13 men, red card, yellow card.
Yeah.
Bodies are still flying in front of Edinburgh players. I can't ask more from this group, to be honest.
Well, Dave, you said you're not sure what it is from last week, but genuinely, all it takes is that win. Suddenly, the spark a bit of confidence. And I think you could see that from the way you boys came into this game, from the way you started the game, the offloading at the beginning for that first try, which we're going to see in a minute. But I think you could just see the confidence. It's amazing what one win can do to suddenly, on the road,
Sure.
but one win on the road just breeds confidence, and then you go and get a second one for the first time. We said since 2019, but actually that was away to Treviso.
We've definitely had a moment where players have got belief in the game plan. I mean, that's, you know, from probably me reflecting on me finishing up my career last year, we've actually arrived at a moment where everyone's on the same page. You know, sometimes coaching a challenge is like herding cats. But as I say, that backed by the commitment and the physical commitment the guys are putting on the pitch.
Oh, there was commitment.
Yeah, it's come together. Look,
That commitment was in defence, wasn't it, Mossy?
Yeah. Well, tell you what, let's have a look at this try, because this is one that must have pleased you in particular, coming from the line out, this from Tomas de Bartolomeo. I mean, talk us through what's happening here, I guess what's in their minds at the time.
There is so much. I see clips like this. We've had one against Lyon as well in Europe. Some of our drive tries this year have been really good. The amount of work and time that we put into this.
Says the line out, coach.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about the boys here.
I know, I set that up for you, Dave.
I know.
Come on,
battered
take
it away.
Take it. The fight is in there, though, and you can see it from the back.
I tell you what, so you look, you've got Edinburgh defenders trying to split us through there, trying to come through, trying to disrupt our ball. The guys just refuse. Do you know what I mean? I can coach them. I can say, boys, defenders can't enter your maul drive. But it's up to them to go and have that fight and have that energy, you know, to go and do it. And the boys have done it. And Edinburgh are a good drive side. They're a good drive side.
But that's also from 12, 13 metres out. It's not a 5 metre line out drive. You know, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of control as well, moving as quickly as that to look after possession. One thing I was going to ask about Massimo Brunello coming in and some of the changes he made. Did you set goals at the start of the season? You don't have to give them away.
No.
But has that had an effect on the season you're having so far?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
We haven't sat down. You know, I speak from maybe my Premiership days. It's quite maybe an Anglo-Saxon thing to sort of sit down and go, right, we want X amount of points out of these games, etc., etc. We've taken every week week by week.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cliche, I know, but we really have had to focus on performance and then what needs fixing, and then spent an awful lot amount of time with the small group of players that we've got, making sure that they come up to the level that's needed to compete in the URC.
Focusing on the here and now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's all you can do, because we're not going to go out and get any out and out world class players that are going to come in and change the game for us. We've got who we've got. We love who we've got because they are committed and they fight for each other. And we'll just keep working with them, because that's the way it's got to be.
Which I think is always interesting, right? Whenever, and you're right, this can be very specific to certain teams about setting goals and what you want to do. How do you then measure success? How do you then measure where you've come from to where you are to know that you're doing things that are right? Don't say the table.
No. Well, to be honest with you, it isn't the table. And if I'd say the table,
yeah, you would.
We're not going to judge ourselves
you're
very
up
well.
Tonight, of course.
Well, it's not. Look, it's nice. To be honest, from a coaching point of view, the bigger picture is probably a question for the boss, Massimo. But for me, it's technical detail. Like, where's that progression in the technical detail that we're doing, and are we getting the results from it? And then if not, we need to change something quickly. I think that's also been a big step forward that we've taken this year. We're not trying to force a system or a way of play, or saying this is the way we're going to win games. We're just really, really minor details, far more individual work than we've ever done before, because we've got such a small squad, because of the resources that we've got, and it's just about maximising what we've got. And you're seeing small amounts of that at the moment.
I'm guessing the energy that you're giving off and the passionate way that you're speaking about this team and everything that you're doing, I might know the answer to this next question, but are you enjoying it there?
Yeah.
This new coaching role and being part of this? What's it be like?
The boss, it came a bit out of the blue, to be honest with you. The boss asked me as well, probably a few weeks back, whether I'm missing playing. And I said, you know what, Massimo, it's really strange that I'm not actually missing playing. And he said, well, I had the same thing, and he's like, because I enjoyed coaching so much. So I think I'm sort of in that boat at the moment.
Do you join in at training?
It's
a story for you. We're over in Ulster, and I've got into the warm-up and just trying to spit some binds, etc. Our Fijian Russ is giving me the biggest elbow on the eye, black eye, puffed up like this. I've gone that. No more. And then Emilio Bergamaschi, he's loads of years, Puma, comes straight up to me and goes, Dave, first lesson you need to learn, you don't enter in any of the drills. Bring in one of the boys.
More importantly then, do the coaches and players mix when they go for a beer after this one? Because there's no way you're not letting the players get out on their own.
We're that kind of club. We are that kind of club. And trust me, Massimo is the leader of the charge.
And the pundits allowed to come along as well.
Oh, there he is.
I think you've got a choice after your celebrations, mate.
Listen, Dave, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming over and giving us a bit of an insight as well. Well done tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And do they do trousers in Zebre? This is just shorts. What a tough bloke.
And this is an ongoing joke with Mattia. Italians got a bit of fear of the cold, and I said, we're going over to Scotland, I'm putting my shorts on.
It's your Scottish roots, Dave.
Molto bene, molto bene.
You don't need trousers where he's coming from, of course, not right now.
Lovely,
next one. Dave,
Cheers,
thank you very much for that.
well
Dave Sisi there, the Zebre line-out coach.
Well done,
Yeah,
Dave.
hand it over to
Just
Ryan.
go, run. Get
The
back
last
in there
thing
for a
anyone
beer.
needs is 2 mics for Ryan Wilson. I think it's really interesting, isn't it? I guess just the level of enthusiasm. It was so clear to see tonight from the reaction of those Zebre players with that victory.
Yeah, but don't get clouded by that, by the quality they had in show as well.
Of course.
And the composure at the end. And I mean, he's absolutely delated there. He doesn't look it, but he's absolutely. We said before the game that Dave was. We said before the game that he was a bit down on himself, but it was just a controlled, composed performance, and we saw that towards the end.
It's also been chucked in front of us.
Well, I know.
As this sort of role as the English-speaking
But
sort of person.
I thought he did really well, and I thought, the emotion, the passion, but there were quality elements to the performance, and Edinburgh will be bitterly disappointed with the outcome for them. But some of the tries, we saw them all try there. The first try that Trula scored was excellent, but their defence was what we kept saying. That was the story of the night.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's find out exactly what the Edinburgh head coach is thinking, because Sean Everitt has been chatting to Rory Hamilton.
Sean, a difficult evening for you. What's your reaction to the performance and the result?
Yeah, they put us under pressure. We knew that. It's not something that we didn't prepare for. Lost the physicality battle, especially at the breakdown. If you look at the stats, we had 150 rucks to their 60 odd, and they managed to put us under pressure there, and we couldn't play. So credit to them, the passion that they showed and the physicality that they showed. Scored a good maul try against us as well. We take pride in our maul, but it didn't happen this evening. So back to the drawing board for Edinburgh.
Is that a concern that you didn't match the passion and the physicality that they brought?
Oh, it's hard to do. It's something that you can't measure is passion. You know, there was a lot of guys that, you know, tried hard out there. I mean, Luke Crosby, you know, was outstanding tonight in that department. So, yeah, we'd have to go back and have a look at it. But in this game, it's a contact sport, and if you don't win the contact, you know, you're always going to be on the back foot. So we lost momentum there.
The home record's been so good. How damaging is it for the playoff aspirations? Does it mean that you need to really start picking up something on the road?
Yes, we needed to do that anyway. You know, the Munster game becomes important. Obviously, we're not dead in this competition. Everyone's alive, in fact. So, you know, we need to pick ourselves up on Monday, work harder, and start winning away from home.
I can imagine that becomes quite it's a difficult review anyway, given the nature of the result. But when you've got players coming and going, and then a break before heading to Munster, which will be another huge challenge.
Yeah, everyone's in the same position, so we can't use that as an excuse. Like I said before the game, you know, we had enough time to prepare with this group. Everyone's in the same position. You know, the Italians also play in the Six Nations. So, you know, we have to look at ourselves at this one.
Sean, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
That's a very honest assessment from Sean Everitt. The players have got to look at themselves. If they look at themselves in the mirror, Chris, what are they going to see?
Oh, hugely disappointed. They'll say that probably deserve to lose the game. I think that's the first thing, if they're honest with themselves, because of the quality they were up against. But I just felt they lost or lacked cohesion, really, and that's understandable to a certain extent when you do have players away and players coming back and not a lot of time together. But as Sean said there, everybody's the same, so they want to get that cohesion, and there was a desperation to try and win the game or affect the game as individuals rather than working together and staying together. So yeah, I think what they would probably just accept defeat. Well, not accept defeat, but realise that they deserve to lose in the night.
We have stood here so many times, Ryan, talking about it, particularly this season, about this sort of up and down nature of this Edinburgh sides. We spoke about the fact that they had been missing bonus points last season. It kind of has creeped in a little bit this season as well. What seems to be not really clicking into place that they've got that level of consistency that they showed earlier on last season?
Well, we spoke about them being up and down throughout the season, but that's exactly what they were in the game. They were up and down, and they weren't consistent in the game at all. They were finding moments where suddenly they would have great carries from Hamish Watson coming around the corner, and they would break through, and Luke Crosby carried well, and then they would get out to the backs. And for me, every time they went out to the backs, they just didn't really break them down that much. And then they suddenly brought Ben Healy on, and he started to kick a bit more, and it was like, okay, we're going back to the old Edinburgh suddenly. And you were like, what is it they do? What is it that they do? Because he would then put a couple bombs up and kicked one out in the full, and you're like, there's a mixture, and I don't think everyone clicks in together.
Cohesion. It's about the cohesion, because there were some pretty good individual performances. Mosese Tuapolotu, I thought, played well. Wes Houston played well. You know, there are kind of individual moments, but it's just pulling it all together in the right direction that's the key.
But I just don't want to get away from the fact that I genuinely, and when you watch games like this, you don't want to take away from Zebre won the game for me. The way they defended, the passion they put into it, the way they clung on, they almost lost it for themselves towards the end with those cards and the red card.
Disappointing night, we know, from an Edinburgh perspective. We spoke a little bit about Scotland's disappointing result against Ireland. We can't go without talking about the potential for this Calcutta Cup match.
Do we have to go there?
Yes.
Do we have to?
England, Scotland. What are we thinking, just briefly?
Really
Chris?
really tough for two quality sides. England are probably better than they've had. The results have shown over the last kind of 6 or 8 months. They're playing at home. It's a massive chance. Scotland have won there the last couple of times, but it was 30 odd years before we did it. It's a massive chance for Scotland, but getting back to winning ways, I think is really important for Scotland. I hope they can do it.
I'm with you. I hope they can do it. It's going to be tough. I just hope they can do it. It's going to be tough. But that England team, after that win last week, they're suddenly...
Is it going to be tough?
They are suddenly the best in the world, England. So it'll be tough.
Are we enjoying your Zebra, mate?
I know. I should get down to Three Sisters. I'm off to the pub.
Yeah, listen, I do not doubt it.
I'm getting home to my
Valentine's. I do not doubt exactly. Yeah, you've already potentially in the doghouse or been here tonight. I know we all are. Listen, thank you very much for doing that tonight, both of you. Good to see you.
It is.
And there we are. Love is in the air. Ryan Wilson with Zebre. We'll see you next time here in Premier Sports. Bye-bye.